How did you use media technologies in the construction, research, planning and evaluation stages? YouTube was one of the primary technologies I used during most of the stages, such as when we first started the research. I used YouTube to look through for teaser and theatrical trailers for me to analyse. It also worked with the planning because looking through these trailers helped me for my own storyboard and shot list for my own to see what I could use to make it look professional. I also used the website during the construction stages when I actually uploaded the final trailer. And with the whole social capability with the site, such as I could receive likes or comments from my videos, and I could even tag it so it can come up with others, and I could create a whole playlist for people to watch. Of course, Google's also a major media technology I could use. I could use it as a complete search engine to see the things I wanted, mainly also for images that worked with the mood board, also for possible props I could use. I just type it in, I get what I want, I get all the pictures, and I just used it throughout most of the stages actually. I also used AuthorStream to put up my research and most of the plans, such as the possible props, the possible costumes. It's a nice uploaded website to get the presentations on, and it means I can get them a lot quicker onto the blog. As well as AuthorStream, that lets you load presentations onto websites. Another one that was also more intriguing and interesting was Prezi, which actually allows you to zoom out around presentations and gives just a more interactive feel to it, and it looks a lot more exciting. So I decided to use Prezi, which I didn't use in my AS, for certain presentations and for the evaluation stages, to make a whole more professional and just exciting feel. I also used GarageBand lightly from the Macs. I used this by switching tracks, moving them around. I used it in a lot different way than we did from the AS, and this time I actually decided to use the keyboard with it than just taking the original sample tracks they give you. So I tried using my own synths and putting it in all together. Just you make a lot more creative. But what I created wasn't exactly right, and even though I learned a lot more about how to use GarageBand, it didn't exactly work for the feel of the trailer. In the A2 course, the camera I actually got to use to film was a lot more improved since the AS. We used a simple, ordinary definition camera. This one I actually got a HD camera, and so it's sort of my first go, I had to learn how to use it. So I did a few little tests, did a few practice trailers to work on, and as I used it to all of the advantages, I used all the placement, and I used the focus. I worked on using auto and manual focus to get the best quality, and just do what many of the professional films use, where they keep the depth of field and depth of focus. Adobe Premiere Pro was the main technology I actually used during the construction stages, as I actually completed my whole trailer within just a week on the program. I also did a lot of other stuff on the program, and also edited a lot of my evaluation videos. Obviously not this one at the moment, but it really did help. I mean, I used a lot more capabilities of it than I did in the AS course. I used a lot more techniques, a lot more effects. As you can see, there's a lot of colour correction effects. A lot of it's darker, a lot of it's brighter. I worked on the sound as well. I used a lot of expositional fades, and I also worked on implementing a lot of tech functionality with it, such as using two videos while there's a video playing in the background. Rendering took a long time, but it really did help, and just sort of experimenting with the program and having a much greater knowledge means I could have created something more professional. So I just completely experimented with it and used everything I could. A website that helped during the evaluation and also the construction stages was Wix.com, which allows you to create your own website. I actually went on a different website in the AS called Webs, whereas this Wix actually gave me a lot more functionality to do with it and interactivity, and it's especially helped with my promotional website, which is it's very pastiche and parodied with a lot of the colour that's going on. It's very bright, and it's sort of just there's a lot of white, so it's quite childish in a way, but it really helps with the sort of advertisement with my whole entire trailer and the ethos of it. And it's also helped with the evaluation because it gives it just looks a lot nicer, it looks a lot more professional than what I did with Webs, and there's a lot more interactivity. There's a lot more animation and effects you can do. So I use this to the full, making everything look professional, putting a lot more functionality such as documents, videos, music. Like this, I also ventured into social network websites to put up my production company, and also during the construction stages. So I used Facebook, Twitter. I used a lot more than the last time. And I use this to also upload other stuff. So if there was like anybody looking, they can also comment and they can, like it, as I say, just on YouTube. So it's a whole lot more. It's like the prosumers, like the audience they're not just consumers, they actually have a say in it. So I can actually upload it and say, so I was uploading new videos, uploading new updates, saying what's going on with the website. Please give us your views. So it really helped in just getting a whole interactive turn, and it doesn't just keep solely to that audiences are fed information. Instead, they can actually participate. And that's how Web 2.0 works. So I used it in my own method, and I used it just to get a whole different view. And it also worked for my audience feedback, to get surveys. I think, of course, it comes down to Blogger, which is, I use to upload all my stuff. And this worked through all of the stages. And this one I actually really used a lot of the functionality I didn't use in the AS, such as just below the head I put up the theatrical trailer. It also worked in the background, the logo. Also worked in the gadgets on the side. So you got the social network promotions. You got the website all there. I want it to be very interactive. That's going to immerse you in. And there's a lot of stuff on my blog, a lot of stuff on my other pages. I want to make this a really big experience that is so interactive that there's so much for audiences to do. So this video really just detailed the technologies I've used, which is why I'm going to load another document which goes in detail of how I use them exactly. But this is just sort of, the whole progress of what I've used, and it's just a really insight to everything, all the technologies during this process.